Now, has anyone here ever personally tried to change someone before? Have you done this? Yeah. And how does it work out for you? I know, it makes for a great first marriage. I recently met a couple in the airport, and they had no children, but what I found out they do have is money. We're driving along, and somebody needed to merge in front of you. How many people here are going to let them in? Wonderful. Now, who here might not be willing to let them in? Okay. So here's how this works. If I look at you and you look down, I can still see you. Why would you not let someone in traffic? They're driving, they need to merge. Why wouldn't you let them in? What do you think? Sorry, say it louder. They should wait for their turn. I agree. Anyone else? Why wouldn't you let them in? Anybody? They don't have the right of way. They merge. They should have known in advance, right? It sounds like what both of you are saying is that there are rules of the road, according to you. And if they don't follow my rules, I'm going to teach them a lesson. How many of you would act as if you didn't even see the person? How many of you would go, well, you know what? I let the last guy in. That was my good deed for the day. Today, it's not your day. There was someone in front of you and they are drowning. Does that person need from you direction or support? How many of you think direction? Yeah? How many think support? Raise your hands high. Okay, in this context, ladies and gentlemen, here is what support looks like. They're drowning. Good luck with that. You can do it. I believe in you. Don't get caught up in the words. It's called a life-saving device, support device. However, what it's doing is giving you direction. Show me how to swim. Tell me where to go. How do I do this? If someone's in a burning building, they don't need support. They need direction. Women, we are so good at giving support, aren't we? Sometimes what we forget, when people are in survival mode, they need direction. Direction. That's leadership. If you've ever been on a team where there a whole bunch of changes going on, but there's no leader who's showing you where to go, you have no direction, it feels very insecure and challenging, doesn't it? Everyone in this room, how many of you in the last 5 years have seen personal change in your home, your spouse, or your job? Raise your hands. Look around this room. That is incredible change. So today, taking care of ourselves, especially through such change, is more important than anything. Why do you think we change so much? How is it possible we change jobs, houses, and spouses? It's a common theme in this entire event. It has to do with technology. It gives us options. You see, if you don't like your job, or your house, or your spouse, just go online. So I said, well, thank you for your service to our country. And they said, well, what do you mean? I said, well, I just think it takes a whole lot of courage to do something like that. And they looked at each other, they said, you're right. They are no longer a couple. They found more courage online. I know everyone in this room knows this. Anything that's meaningful for you, you have made sacrifices for. you have had to work hard. Just throwing in the towel and switching isn't the answer. I think it leaves a lot of people kind of lost, doesn't it? And the problem is technology. It's affecting our attention spans. The average attention span 30 years ago was 22 minutes at a time. The average attention span today is 9 seconds. Wake up the person next to you. It's 9 seconds. I first experienced burnout when I failed grade 1. And my report card was very clear. The reason that I failed is I was incredibly, painfully shy. That meant I didn't raise my hand to ask questions. In fact, I used to just hide at the back of the room. So that day, to make matters worse, my teacher broke down the classroom into 2 separate groups. The group that passed and moved on, and then those of us who failed and were left behind. And that was just me and a young Spanish boy who couldn't speak English. And like for many of us, you know, our real story starts when you're under 10 years old, those memories. So for me, what it meant was this. I am not allowed to be quiet or shy. I need to always give my energy, effort, and passion. If I am having a bad day, if I feel cranky, it doesn't matter. I need to put my energy and effort into everything that I do and always be positive. Do you ever feel like you have to be something all the time? You always have to be on. Here's how it might work for you. Imagine you're walking along and you trip and it hurts. Do you go, ouch? Or do you go, who saw me? So what we systematically learn to do is ignore our own voice so that we can focus on what other people think or want from us.